So I want to share something with everybody. It's Saturday in Ohio. It's nice outside, sun's shining, still a little chilly, but not too hateful. I was sitting inside watching a movie with my son Drew, and all of a sudden, the doorbell rings. Becky was away. She was watching a movie with her son Brady, and we don't get too many visitors out here. But so I went to see who's at the door, and I noticed there's two gentlemen standing there, and I'll see what they have to say. So they asked if I had a minute to talk about a message of kindness and compassion. I knew I was going to have an audience, and these two Jehovah's Witnesses had no idea the audience they were going to get from me. They had no idea what the message was going to be that they were going to receive from my end. I cannot express how excited I was about this. So Becky, who would never have done this, I said, do you guys have just a minute? I said, if you do, I want to put my dog away because she gets a little excited. And I said, I'd like to bring you in and I want to show you something so I can share something with you. And they said, absolutely. And so they were kind enough to give me a minute to put her away, and I brought them in and I showed them the wall where I have a picture of Captain. Captain is a rescued cow that was rescued from a dairy that was shutting down. He was a 4-H project for a family friend of ours who eventually sold him, and then we had to rescue him out of slaughter. So I told them about Dudley. I told them about the cow that changed my life and why that is so important to me. I told them, I was like, I appreciate you guys are out here sharing a message of kindness and compassion, but that kindness and compassion has to start on our plate. And they both looked at me. They both looked at me with a quizzical look on their face. I said, I'm totally on board that we should be kind and compassionate to human beings. But we need to extend that compassion to all of God's creatures, to every creature. I said, when you're eating an animal on your plate, you're eating a baby that was tortured. That's part of a cycle of cruelty that you can't hardly even describe unless you've seen it. I told them that I came from a place where I grew up hunting and fishing, and I thought animals were here for us instead of with us. And at that point, one of the gentlemen pulled out his iPad and started sharing some scripture with me. The first thing he brought up was that in the Garden of Eden, if you want to be biblical, in the Garden of Eden, we didn't eat animals. We weren't designed to eat the animals. We weren't told to eat the animals until sin was created. And I'm sitting here glaring ear to ear because I look like the cat that swallowed the canary. Sorry for the terrible pun. But I'm sitting here sharing this information with them, and he's like, why would we continue to eat these animals? Why would we continue to eat this stuff? I said, we shouldn't. I said, there is lots of industry money that is spent to convince us otherwise, and we shouldn't be doing that. I said, if you want to spread a message of kindness and compassion, it has to start on your plate. How can you sit down with someone and share a message of love and peace and caring when there's so much pain on your plate? I thanked them, and I'll be honest with you, we probably had about a 10, 15-minute conversation about this. And they were very good sports, and I appreciate that. And they shared their message as far as what they were. Selling's not the right word. I don't feel that Jehovah's Witnesses or folks that are sharing that are selling anything. But I do appreciate them listening to what I was selling, because I'm selling something that doesn't cost anybody anything. It doesn't cost anything for a human to be kind to an animal. It doesn't cost you anything. Literally. Because when you're taking the life of an animal, you're taking something that didn't belong to you in the first place. So being kind and compassionate to those animals, that's what we should be doing anyways. So these two guys, they said, do you have any anything we can watch, anything you'd suggest watching? And I said, well, right now I'm doing a series on Instagram on live feeds under my page, The Vegan Sheepdog. I said I'm interviewing 28 vegans for the month of February that have inspired and encouraged my journey. I said, you could check that out. I said, if you want to check out something that's fairly mainstream, especially in the vegan community, would be What the Health or Forks Over Knives. I said, that's a good place to start. I said, you could check out Diet Fiction. I said, those are documentaries that touch base on the human element without focusing directly on the animal cruelty as some of the documentaries do. So I can appreciate that. seeing what goes on in these slaughterhouses is important. It's important to know what's going on so you can speak against it, so you can explain why it's cruel. But I think when you're trying to encourage someone to consider something different, watching something like Dominion may not be the best place to start for someone who's just starting to be willing to consider another way to look at things. So I didn't expect the two Jehovah's Witnesses to show up at my house today, but I appreciate them being super good sports and listening to what I had to say. And I really think that these two gentlemen took to heart what I said. And, you know, they kept talking about our Creator and whatever version you believe in that. Whatever that is, that being would not have created animals to be sentient beings that feel pain, that express joy and happiness when they're loved. It just wouldn't. I don't care what religious philosophy you subscribe to. No one is cruel that would have created animals that suffer the way the animals suffer at the hand of man so we can have a meal. So think about that. If you would, check out Dominion if you haven't seen it. Check out Forks Over Knives, Diet Fiction, What the Health. These are all important, very important documentaries that highlight some of the important things with this movement. So I'm really jacked up about it. And the funny part was I was still talking to these gentlemen. Becky comes home, comes in the garage door, and has no idea these two men are in our home. And she walks in, and they're both very tall men. They're both African Americans, and you walk into our house and you see two older black men standing in our home. And Becky's like, "Oh crap!" So it was kind of funny. I said, "My wife might have a panic attack when she comes in and sees two strangers standing here, but don't worry about it." So it was pretty funny, and they laughed. They were very good sports about it, but they were very receptive. To me, I thought it was a great moment to share my message, share my kindness and compassion, and try to inspire that into someone else. And, I know they got more than they were bargained for today, but I really appreciate them stopping by and being good sports and listening to what I had to say. And I hope to goodness that they really take it to heart. And more importantly, I hope they really look into it and consider the things that we talked about. We talked about how we were not created to eat animals because our bodies aren't designed to consume it. Our bodies aren't designed to consume it because our intestinal tract is 9 times the length of our body. To where a true carnivore, like a lion, it's only like 3 times the length of his body. The longer that we digest that stuff that shouldn't be in our bodies, the more likely we are to have colon cancer and other types of cancer in our bodies. So, use any opportunity you can to spread compassion and kindness. It may be somebody knocked on your door. It may be somebody you meet in the store. But anywhere you can spread a message of positivity to shine onto this vegan movement, the better off we can be. The more people we can wake up, the better off we're going to be. And the better off the planet will be, the better off animals will be. So I hope you enjoy your Saturday. And I'm going to post this on IGTV. So if you're not familiar with that, it's something new. It's kind of, it allows you to put longer videos up to 10 minutes. On Instagram that you used to only be able to do a minute. So kind of a cool little feature. So we'll see how well that works out. Maybe I can put this rambling rant on YouTube as well. So, but hope you have a great Saturday, and be kind and compassionate to everybody. Not just the animals, not just to people, to everybody. Have a good one.